What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Blue River Bow Hunting Podcast, episode 73. It's going to be another one of those episodes, like I said, for about the next 3 or 4 weeks. I'm going to have some Nexus Outdoors team members on here, talking to them. I'm going to get a wide variety. We started with Harrison. Now we're going on to Warren Bailey from Southern Indiana. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up?
Oh, not much, man. Having a few beers, talking some hunting with you. We got some Indiana Pacers basketball on in the background. So Tuesday night, I can't ask for nothing better than that, really.
Not at all.
Man, I got a deal. I'm not much, like I said before to Victor, I didn't have a Facebook. I haven't had a Facebook for like 10 years plus. And then with getting in with you guys, decided to make a Facebook again, so I'm new to like the Facebook marketplace and stuff like that. Oh man, I struck a hell of a deal. A lone wolf climber, I can't remember what the model number is on it, whatever. 250, $250. Anywhere else I found them, they were $450, $500. Hell, you buy them brand new, they're $1,000.
Yeah, you can find some really good stuff on there. I just the other weekend, I bought a muddy hang-on. I think it's the Viking or something. Brand new in the box, $20.
Nice. Well, too bad you couldn't have got like 10 of them.
I know. But yeah, every now and then you'll see something on there like that.
Yeah.
For
well,
sure.
That's cool, man. For somebody that doesn't know you, man, introduce yourself a little bit.
So my name's Warren Bailey. I'm from Southern Indiana. Let's see. I've been hunting for basically my whole life. I really got into the social media part of it. I guess it was like 3 years ago now. And yeah.
I seen in your Facebook profile that you were a pipe fitter.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. I'm around that sort of thing every day. I'm an insulator, so I'm around. I call them pipe fitters, but I know that you guys, plumbers and pipe fitters and welders, are all like a different thing.
Oh yeah, very different. I'm actually a plumber, but there's pipe fitters and welders and HVAC guys and all that in our local as well.
Yeah, it's always kind of cool because a lot of us blue-collar workers are all the same, really, in a certain aspect. And you always run into other hunters and, see them showing trail cam photos at the job site and stuff. And I've met a lot of really cool people that I actually still hunt with off of job sites. I met a carpenter like 8 or 9 years ago, and we've been buddies ever since. First time we ever went out turkey hunting together, he was saying he was having trouble getting on, had the birds, just wasn't having much luck with it. So I went with him just to call, but I took my gun with me, and we pulled a double the first ever hunt together.
No kidding. Holy cow.
And that was actually southern to me for Indiana, but around Martinsville is where we killed it at.
Oh, yeah. I know right where that's at. Yeah. That's it's a little bit north of me, but yeah. There's a lot of dudes out there that are all into it. Our local actually has an outdoor Facebook page for the members who are hunters, fishermen, whatever. But
yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know if you've seen it before. Isn't it called the Union Sportsman or something like that? There's something.
Yep.
I've seen they used to have a show on the Outdoors Channel or Pursuit or whatever it was, where they would take somebody from a job site or on the job and kind of do a story on them and take them to outfitter shooting elk or whatever. It was always some kind of cool story that went with it.
Huh. Yeah, I did not know that, actually.
Yeah, I'll have to see if I can find it and send you. It was actually pretty good. I mean, most of the people had been working in the trades like 30 years or whatever, and somebody nominated them, and they got usually it was some big extravagant hunt, elk or moose or something like that, and they videoed the whole hunt and everything, and it was always kind of cool to see that. Even before I got into it, because my dad got me into the union, so I was kind of always around that sort
Mhm.
of thing.
So did they have a magazine by chance? Because I
Yeah.
swear I've seen that logo. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's like
So
a fish and a deer, I think, on like
yeah,
almost like a
yeah, yeah,
yin
yeah.
yang looking thing.
Yeah, I've seen it before, but I didn't know they did a show like that. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, I actually was in my I've been uh, in the Insulators magazine a couple times. The last time
Oh,
was I think 2021.
hmm
That just our local presidents send these pictures in, and sometimes they get selected, and sometimes they don't. It was I think my 2021 buck in the bed of the truck, me holding it, and my boy was next to me, and he was only like
yeah.
3 or 4 at the time, and we took a picture, and they used it in uh, our yeah international magazine that they send out.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
It was pretty cool. So you're taking a deep dive. This is why Warren's here. I wanted to have him on to talk about something that he's starting up. Mile 8. What is it
Yes.
like? What are you
Okay.
going for?
Man, the backstory here with this. So Mile 8 comes from like basically where it all started. When I was growing up, my grandpa he had a place in Kentucky, and right in front of of his place was mile marker 8. So my grandpa he's the one that got me into hunting, fishing, the outdoors, all that.
Mm-hmm.
I would go over there on the weekends, and we would. I mean, we never big game hunted, but it was like squirrel, rabbit. We would fish, shoot guns, that kind of thing, and that's kind of what started uh, like my love for it,
Mm-hmm.
if you will. And so, I was thinking of a name for a long time, and it was actually last. Yeah, I guess it was 2 years ago. I shot my big 8 over there, right in front of his cabin, and that deer died right in front of that sign that said mile 8. So I took it and ran with it.
That's most people don't understand that don't have something like that. Which,
Yeah.
if they're not into that sort of thing, that's cool too. If they don't like to be a part of a group or film for somebody or whatever, but coming up with the name is like it
Oh,
seems to
dude,
be impossible. You know what I mean?
it really is like, and it hits you like so unexpected out of nowhere. But yeah, I mean, it really like I think it's like the perfect name,
Yeah, for
at least
sure.
for me.
Yeah.
So,
Did you get pictures with it next to the mile 8 marker?
man, I didn't.
Well, thinking about it now, you're like, man, that would have been like a
Yeah,
perfect like
uh,
logo.
that's like my only regret that I have with that. I did. I think I have a short clip of me holding the deer, and I think the sign is kind of in the video. I don't know though. I'd have to go back and look, but yeah, no pictures.
Have you made any kind of like logo or anything like that yet?
Yeah, so that was another thing. So when I first had that idea, I was thinking like what is a good logo for that? And so I got talking to some buddies, and I was drawing. I can't draw to begin with.
Me either.
I really wish I could find the paper with my sketch of what I wanted, because you would die laughing. But basically, I could picture it in my head, and it was just the word mile and the 8, but the top of the 8, that circle, as a deer head. So I got talking to a graphic designer that I
Hmm.
know, and we worked back and forth on it. And finally, he sent me one, which is the one that I'm using now.
Hmm.
And I love it. It's exactly what I pictured in my head. So uh, that'll be the logo for sure.
That's awesome. You'll have to like if you ever come up with like any T-shirt designs, that would be like I think it would be a
Yeah.
great T-shirt design, like a Euro mount like skull, and then have like that
Yes.
green mile marker next to it. I think that'd be pretty sweet.
Oh yes. Oh yes. So actually, the the dudes were putting up new signs down there during turkey season, and I got to take the old Mile 8 signs when they put the new ones up. So I actually have the 2 Mile 8 marker signs.
That's awesome. You could really do some impressive photographs with that thing, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
What's some goals that you have for Mile 8? What is it that you want to be in general?
So really, you know, I kind of just want to do like a show, if you will. It's not really, like the Duries or whatever. It's just like my point of view, hunting. Nothing too crazy right now. Just mainly having fun with it is my main goal, because it's a lot of added stress, really. I mean,
yeah.
I'm by no means a cameraman. I'm still kind of learning that part of it too. So I just have a feeling like these first couple times it's going to be a little rough to begin with, and maybe eventually in time it can get bigger and turn into something.
Yeah, it's a lot of work to get. Are you going for like are you going to start on YouTube, or are you going to work on another platform?
Yeah, I'm thinking YouTube to start out for sure.
Yeah, and it's so tough to get subscribers on YouTube, and I mean it takes forever to really build it up. So you really have to stay consistent with that sort of thing. Which we've had some good videos in the last several years, deer and turkey. So we've kept on that, but we have a constant content coming out with having a podcast. You always see that. I have a guy I work around at work. He always says, I seen your thing pop up this morning on my, just because he helped me out and threw me a subscribe. But I would say definitely stick with what you're saying and have fun with it. There's no reason to add any stress to yourself. You know what I mean? Like, just have fun with it. We're not trying to make the outdoor channel here or nothing like that.
No, by no means. That's just the main thing, is just like having fun with it. Just like I've been talking to a buddy who I'm going to turkey hunt with this year, and we're talking about filming, and I told him, I'm like, if we get it, we get it. If not, we'll try again.
Yeah, for sure. It took me, it seemed like forever to get a very quality deer hunt put together, because sometimes you go out there and you don't see anything, and then you're thinking about it in the back of your head, like, man, I started this, but I haven't really seen much lately. It's hard for me to put anything together because I haven't really seen much. And then it was like a floodgate, man. Adam, my next door neighbor and a big part of Blue River bow hunting, shot a nice one the day before gun opener with the bow. I was filming for him. It was an awesome hunt, and then it was just like we broke the ice. And then the very next day, I went back-to-back days. Ryan Emmerd, who's a part of Nexus and Blue River, he shot a giant on the river opening day gun, and it was just like a floodgate. Everything went our way after that happened. It seemed like. Yep.
I've been this past deer season. I spent a lot of time not even hunting, but just getting footage of deer, and got some stuff for coyotes in there, but just really trying to get footage. That's my main goal right now.
Yeah. Do you have anything like kind of backlogged where you can put some stuff together right off the bat?
Yeah, I got a few things, but nothing crazy. Nothing that I feel is good enough, if you will.
But you probably got enough to make like some good teasers and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure that.
I'd imagine video and coyote hunting would be like extremely hard, probably like harder than deer and turkey.
Yeah, it is. It is a pain. I was out the other day in the evening, and I got set up, got my tripod put up, got my camera set up, turned it on, and I seen something out of the corner of my eye running. And I was like, I looked, it's a coyote. So I hurry up, I turn the camera, grab the gun, and I get him, and I shoot, hit him, and I go back to check the video, and you can see him run on the bottom of the frame, and then he just disappears. You hear a gunshot, and that's it. It's like, so I didn't even get it on film, but it just happened so fast that, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever watched John Collins on Fox
Oh,
Pro, but
I know exactly who you're talking about. That dude
he
is a
is, I
coyote
don't know how
killer.
he does that. I don't know how he films like that because he's got it down.
Yeah, for sure.
It is really hard to do. So
Yeah, there's some real big predator hunters in the area where I live, and I've thought
oh
about
yeah,
asking them a few times, like, you mind me going with you and just
yeah.
filming you? I think it'd be kind of cool. But a lot of those guys using like those thermals and stuff like that,
Mhm.
they have like a camera, like a recording thing built into the scope.
Yeah, I have a scope that records, but I like the I like the daytime footage more than the night.
Right.
Um, I feel like it's just more of I don't even know. I guess like a personable experience watching
Yeah.
when you can see somebody instead of just through the scope.
Yeah. Instead of just seeing thermals, you're seeing actually,
Mhm.
live
Yeah,
going down where you can actually see everything. I get that. Is
but I
that
haven't.
something that you got pretty big into growing up, was coyote hunting?
No. So I went coyote hunting for the first time when I was like 16. I was
Mm-hmm.
a sophomore. My buddy bought this cheap ATN night vision scope, and we would go out there, and we didn't kill nothing.
That's awesome.
Did not kill the first thing. And then here, probably, I don't even know, 3, 4 years ago, I got real big into it again. I bought my scope, I built an AR, and got a call, and been going ever since. Yeah, I love it now.
Yeah, a lot of people do. I've never really been like into it like that. Like I've been a few times and I've shot a few
Yeah.
coyotes, mostly when I'm deer hunting.
Yep.
uh, but there's them guys get real big into it, and I'd love to just go with them one time and kind of check it out. They got the like coyote derbies here close to me, and,
Hmm.
and it's like a
Oh yeah.
huge
Yeah.
thing.
Yes. Yes, it is. They're huge around here. Uh, but my buddy, he was like that. He had never really been, and he went with me one time, and he was sold. He went out, bought a scope, and we go together quite a bit now. But it's fun, man. It's a different kind of hunting. And like I told him, I feel like it helps me with deer hunting in a way because it is all about wind with a coyote.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I've seen them talk about that on there. It's kind of like if you're going in, you definitely have to play the wind, and your
yes.
sets are pretty short, right? Like a 10, 15
Yeah.
minute set.
Yeah. I base it from like 15 to 30 minutes. It really depends. Uh, it every stand's different. Every
Yeah,
coyote is different. It
guarantee it.
seems like not not two are the same. I mean, something that'll work in one spot might scare them away in another. Um, they're they're tough.
I guarantee it. So, did you? How long have you actually been filming stuff?
About a year. Um, so I bought my camera. I think it was technically like 2 years ago, but it was in like November or December.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I played with a lot last year, but I didn't really get anything too good on it. I missed a turkey, missed a turkey on it. Still have that footage.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I got a couple. I think I actually have more than one turkey miss on film, which
Mhm.
is highly embarrassing for sure.
Dude, and it was so perfect. Like I was behind the decoy, had the camera. These birds were 20 yards away from me, and I don't know how I managed it. But yeah, I missed big time.
Yeah,
So,
I had a it's a Mossberg 835.
yep.
It's got the obsession on it, the True Glow
Oh
sights.
yeah.
I got it handed down to me. My uncle passed
Mhm.
away, and that's what I got. And dude, I loved it. Killed 3 or 4 birds with it, and I don't
Yep.
know what happened. Something got messed up on that True Glow sight, on the back sight, like how it goes
Yeah.
up and down. And
Hmm.
then I went to Missouri and missed twice, and I was like dumbfounded,
Dude,
like I'm pretty good shot. Like what happened here?
right, yeah.
Shot it on a board, and I shot like 4 foot high. I don't even know what happened.
Oh,
Crazy
wow.
thing is, haven't used the gun since. Been in my gun safe. I was done with the True Glow sights. I'm gonna put a
Oh yeah.
red dot on that gun one of these days. But I tricked
Yep.
out my Mossberg. I'm actually getting my Mossberg dipped in bottomlands like in the next
Oh yeah.
week. I've decked my 500 out. People can talk smack about a Mossberg 500, but I've laid some turkeys out with that thing.
Man, there's nothing wrong with the Mossberg 500. That
Right.
is, I mean, it's as reliable as it gets.
I
Um,
said, all right, game over. I'm tricking this thing out. I think I put a
yep.
pattern master in it, the code
Oh yeah.
black or whatever. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
and I have a Carlson's turkey choke
Yeah.
for it too. That's made for Longbeard XR
Yep.
loads, and that thing is pretty deadly too. That Michigan bird last year, I know he was close, but I never messed anything up on that bird because he was actually facing away from me. All I could see was his head,
Yep.
and I didn't want to shoot the rest of his body. And I
Right.
mean, I just plumb knocked him out. I mean, KO.
Man, there's nothing better than that right there.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely, just knocking the holy hell out of one.
yeah, that is. Yeah, I love it.
For sure. Um, let's see here. What else I got wrote down here? Trips. Did you kind of base any of your trips for this coming year, kind of going with the brand and trying to get this thing started?
Yeah. So, man, I'm not 100% on anything yet, but I was gonna try to get down to Florida this year to hunt turkeys, but I just don't think that with my schedule right now that I can swing that. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm for sure gonna add a state to my deer hunting this year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm between Michigan and Tennessee. That's like my top two. My cousin has a place in Fort Wayne that I could stay. So Michigan's, not terribly far from there,
Yeah.
but I want a velvet buck, something fierce.
Me
So
too. Oh, really
that is
bad.
what is really making Tennessee appealing to me. Uh, yeah, the want for a velvet buck is unreal.
I had the invite to Tennessee last year. Didn't end up going through. I didn't do it. But they end up killing Dylan Albright. I had him on here like 3 or 4 episodes ago. Killed an absolute slammer of a buck in Velvet, and I'm like, man, I was supposed to go down there, But I can't imagine like Kentucky is one thing because Kentucky will that first weekend in Kentucky is so brutal, but you got to think,
Yes, yes.
it's even a week or two ahead of that in
Oh, I know.
more southern than Kentucky.
Oh, I
It's
know.
straight hot down in Tennessee during that hunt.
Yep. Uh, yeah, the last 2 years I've hit Kentucky so hard. I mean, every day those first few weeks of September, and just haven't been able to get it to happen. I think the first year I was down there, the target buck that I was after, someone actually shot him from the road, so
Oh
that
man.
kind of messed that up for me. And
Hmm.
then the I guess it was last year, or no, I guess 2 years ago, uh, the 8 that I killed, um, I saw him in velvet, but just not close enough. And then this past year, I did not see a thing.
I didn't either. We were there for, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, or 4 days, or 5 days. I can't remember now,
Yeah.
but I don't think I think I saw like 2 or 3 deer the whole time. I mean,
Yeah.
that Sunday, the evening hunt that Sunday may have been the hottest I've ever been
Hmm.
hunting anything. It was like 98 degrees, and I think Adam made us hike like 2.5 miles or something. And like when I got back there, just it was so hard to even set up in the stand because it was just so like stagnant, dead air. It was just miserable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It gets rough with the humidity down there for sure.
So obviously you're from Indiana. What counties are you mostly hunting for in
Um,
Indiana?
so I mostly hunt Crawford County and Perry County. Um, and I'll occasionally hunt Harrison.
Those are really, really good counties. I've heard a lot of good things about Perry County. I've never got to hunt Perry County, I don't believe, but I hear that name, and Crawford County. I hear that all three of those a lot, but definitely hear Perry more than anything. It seems like they can be a pretty popular spot down there.
Yeah, Perry County is very like remote. There's not a whole lot of people down there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's there's a lot of Hoosier National in Perry County.
Yeah.
Um, there are huge deer down there, but it's like everywhere else. You just got to know where to go.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Do
but
you
I
do you,
do hunt.
do you hunt anything close to the Hoosier National?
Yeah, well, so I hunt both private and public.
Mm-hmm.
I hunt in the Hoosier National, and then I hunt some private around here. And then I also have properties that are private that back up to the Hoosier National.
Nice.
So a little bit of everything, really.
Seems like that Hoosier National, it is a very, very great place to hunt, but it seems like definitely the later you get near it, the more pressure it's definitely going to have on
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It gets pressured bad, especially here lately. I mean, it's it seems like each year it gets a little worse with people, but like I said, there's places that if you know, you know, and they're usually pretty good consistently every year.
Now, a lot of that pressure, do you think it's coming more from Indiana residents or non-residents?
It's a lot of non-residents.
Right, I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah,
I've seen
which
that. I've ran in. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I've seen that a lot, and people call me not necessarily close to where I'm at, but
yep.
the public land that I've traveled to hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the pressure that I seen was non-resident. I mean, there was
Yeah.
guys from like Vermont and Maryland and
Oh,
shit.
yeah. Yeah, I ran into a dude last year from North Carolina, and I tried to help him out because the way I see it, if you're coming that far, why not help a guy out?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I've never steered anybody in the wrong direction on any of public land. I
Yeah.
mean, there are some spots I may not mention to you,
Hmm.
but I'll try to help you out as much as I can. And I'm fairly new to the public land
Yeah.
approach. I would say 3 or 4. I've only killed one deer ever on public land. It was in
Yeah.
Ohio a couple years ago. I've never really had a bunch of luck on public in
Hmm.
Indiana, but
Yeah.
outside Indiana, I've had a bunch of luck. I mean, Missouri is becoming like a staple with us now. Like we're talking
Oh,
about driving 6 hours to shed hunt.
oh wow, really?
Yeah, for sure. We want to go back over there. We just we kind of know where some stuff's at, and we want to check it out because nothing against Missouri residents, but maybe in this particular place, but they're not going deep. They're not going deep enough. If you go just a little bit past what you think somebody else would do, we ran into a ton of sign, saw multiple shooters. Adam missed twice over there with a bow. I still don't know how he's gonna kill me for saying that, but still don't know how he missed twice, but on video twice. Yeah, big, nice big deer too. So we're gonna continue to go over there for sure. You should check that out. I could actually point you in. I would point you in some directions over there. It's pretty nice over there, man.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that some more.
All right, you can get the invite on that for sure. Yeah. How are you scouting your properties in Indiana, public and private?
So the main farm that I hunt, I've hunted it for, oh my gosh, since I was like 12. Mm-hmm. So, and the deer are pretty consistent on it every year. So I don't really do as much as I should, if you will. I just throw the cameras out, and then like this past year, I had several deer coming in consistently, and I was working 7 days a week, so I didn't really get to hunt as much as I wanted to. And then the day that I did, I took off a Saturday, and I actually told my boss, I was like, I'm going to take off, I'll kill my deer, and I won't have to take off again. And that's exactly what happened.
That's awesome.
It's just, and it's not easy by no means, but they're very consistent there.
I know exactly what you mean. I got a property that's the exact same way. It may be, bucks that haven't even lived close to the property, and it seems like I have deer that do the same thing year after year, almost in the exact same fashion.
Yep. Yeah, it's been every year. I mean, same spots. They travel the place the same. So it works out pretty good for me. I can't really complain.
I don't doubt that no bit. How are you setting stand locations? What are you just going off of obviously what you've known in years past, or is it like you're outside of bedding, or you're just in a travel corridor? How are you setting those stands up?
A lot of mine are on a travel corridor. So the way this property's set up, it is all crop around it, and it is like a giant valley with a creek at the bottom. So they'll come in off of public land, and they'll travel through my farm and go into these crop fields. So I got stands on all the ridges basically, and then some in the creek bottoms. But I mean, it's basically just a giant travel corridor. And I have put in some bedding areas in there, but I think every deer that I've killed on that piece has been traveling to food.
Mm-hmm. Even during the rut, did you kill him during the rut?
Yep. So I mean, he wasn't traveling to food then, I don't think.
Right, but he just happened to be cruising through there.
Yeah, but they, like I said, they're very consistent with where they're going down there. So
is it easy to get in and out of yourself without messing a bunch of it up?
It wasn't for a long time. So for a long time, I would pretty well have to walk through the entire property to get to my stands. But mainly because the farmer wouldn't let me walk through his field. But a couple years ago, I got permission to walk on his property. So now I can get to my stand without ever really touching the woods. Uh, so it's helped a lot too, as far as access and jumping deer and all that.
What about deer population? How's the herd? Is it healthy?
Yeah, for the most part. Seems like this past year there wasn't as many, and I think that is mainly due to the neighboring property. Uh, I don't know if you're familiar with Fort Knox, but that's about what opening day sounds like over
Oh
there. So
gosh.
they shoot anything and everything, uh, which you
That's
know,
that's each their own. But
well,
what I can
yeah,
imagine with the neighbor property being that bad and it butting up into public, and you
yep.
not hunting it as much because you were busy with work, probably made that place pretty hot.
Well, so what the deer do is once they get the pressure from the neighbors, they move on to me, and then they actually move on to that farmer's land. The farmer does not hunt, or have anybody that hunts that land. So the deer stay over there, and they'll come onto my farm a little bit and onto the neighbors too. But they generally stay on that farmer side. Uh, so there's a lot of big ones that are still alive this year.
That's good. At least it gives you something to chase next year.
Oh, for sure.
Kentucky. Are you hunting private in Kentucky or both?
Both.
Nice.
So yeah, yeah. I got a farm that I hunt in Kentucky that's private. It's kind of by the river, and then I hunt public in Kentucky off of the river. Actually, at Yellow Bank. I don't know if you've heard of that,
Yeah.
but
So, are you talking the Kentucky River or the Ohio River?
the Ohio.
I got you. Because not to throw this out there too deep, but the public I hunt in Kentucky is near the Kentucky River,
Yep.
which is fire, really.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, the Kentucky hunting it's rough on public down there. It gets hit pretty hard,
Hmm.
but I did manage to put my buddy on a bird this past year down there. Uh, I didn't deer hunt down there any, except for in September. I was down there a few days, but never really seen anything.
That's always our problem too. We always hunt it in the September opener, and then we really never really go back down there, which is crazy because I think some of the places that we hunt would be phenomenal come even in November. They've
Yep.
been down. They have a little tradition of going back on around Halloween, but you won't
Hmm.
catch me dead leaving this state near Halloween. I'm staying here. You guys go right on ahead, bud. I'm staying right
Yep.
here.
Yep. Yep. For sure. Yeah.
When do you think the peak of the rut hits down there in southern Indiana where you're at? Not to go off of Kentucky subject, but it kind of popped in my mind, made me think of it.
Yeah. So, man, this past year it was kind of weird. Um, at least in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I would say it's between that first and second week in November. Really, I think that's when it's really getting good.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of same here. I mean, we're not too far
Yeah.
apart, so but that I think it would have been around like the 5th through like the 14th was really, really hot here
Oh,
close to
yeah.
where I'm at. Like where you can almost, if you had cameras in the right spot, you could almost pattern a couple of them because they were doing the same thing. At
Oh, yeah.
least there for a couple days. Actually, uh, Adam's buck was killed the 5th. I killed the 11th. Yeah,
Yeah.
the 11th, and same woods, and the deer almost did identical things. So we kind
No
of
kidding.
figured out how they were using that particular woods at that particular time, and we were
Yep.
able to cash in on both of them. And not any spoiler alerts, but there's more big deer over there, and I hope we get to do it all over again.
Yeah, for sure. So I killed my Kentucky deer on the 11th and my Indiana on the 19th.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that was like the second and third week of November.
We'll talk about your Kentucky buck. How did it all play out?
So kind of the same thing with Indiana. I was running cameras. Like I said, I was working 7 days a week. So I took off a Saturday to go to Kentucky. I got there and I shot that deer probably, I think it was like 7:45, 8 o'clock. So shot him, and then next Saturday I took off and shot my Indiana deer.
That's awesome.
So I hunted 2 days aside from September, and a little bit in October, and got both bucks. So I couldn't really complain at all.
No, that's pretty clutch there. I mean, you hear a lot of people say, like, you know, if they were really, really smart about it, they would only hunt like within 7 days of the whole season, which I don't think I could hold out that long. I got to go try to get on something. But it sounds like that's kind of how it played out with you, because you were working so much, and then it's like you jumped on an opportunity to take a couple of days off, and it paid off for you both times. I mean, you should have bought a lottery ticket.
Dude, so you know, I'm gonna knock on wood here, but the past 2 years now, I've killed the 2 turkeys in both states, 2 deer in both states, and I'm going to try to keep this streak going.
No kidding. I would too.
Yeah, it's real good.
I guarantee it. Are you thinking about adding any states for turkeys?
Yeah, like I said, I really want to do the Grand Slam, obviously. And I wanted to go to Florida this year really bad, but I don't think I'm going to be able to swing that. So I don't think I'll be hunting any other states for turkey this year except for Indiana and Kentucky. But next year I'm for sure going to go somewhere, whether it be Florida, Kansas, wherever.
I know. I need to knock one of those other subspecies off. I keep killing all these Easterns, but it's hard because once I take the leap and add something to it, it becomes a staple, and it's just like so hard to go off my beaten path that I've already taken a million times and have so much fun doing. I'm adding Tennessee this year. I get to go to Tennessee for their opener. And I'm stoked, and I feel like it's going to be another one of those things where I got to go to Tennessee every year now.
Heck yeah, for sure.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I can't wait for turkey season.
It's not coming fast enough.
No, it's not. I'm so ready.
Well, you got to go to the ATA this year with everybody. Talk about is this your first time going?
No, I went. I've been twice now. Yeah,
I still haven't got to experience the ATA whole deal, which I think would be a lot of fun. I like doing the trade show stuff.
Yeah, it's a blast.
Oh, for sure, and everybody's just having a good time doing it, for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Was there anything you saw at the show that stood out to you?
Oh wow. Oh yeah, actually. So I don't know if you saw Barnett's new thing that they come out with, like it's almost like night vision,
Really?
like a night vision scope, but for a crossbow.
Hmm.
And you know, I love the idea, but the first thought that I had was it is going to be so bad for a big buck at midnight this coming season.
Get stroked in the head with no sound.
Yeah.
I almost feel like they probably shouldn't have let them do that.
No, that is a poacher's like dream come true. I
Absolutely,
mean,
because those some of those crossbows you can shoot. I mean, you can
80
shoot
yards.
pretty,
I mean,
yeah,
yeah,
80,
you
100
can,
yards, no problem.
yeah, you can launch one, and so now we got night vision on that bad boy.
It's gonna look like Iraq or something with like tracers, like with the lighted knocks across the
Oh yeah,
field.
I told one of them down there. I said there's going to be a whole lot of nighttime deer picks this year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Uh, there were, so you got to be like a part of like Nexus there, right? With like Blocker and Lock.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool, man. I mean, I'm pretty jealous. That sounds like a pretty fun time, really.
yeah, it's a good time. It really is. We have fun with it.
Did you want to spend your entire paycheck on a green leaf suit?
Oh, dude, when I first seen that, which that wasn't even my favorite thing there.
Mm,
Those hickory phantom pants are
really?
up here.
I'm gonna have to check them out. I mean, I've seen them, and everybody's kind of been talking about them. What makes these
Yeah,
pants so special?
I really just like the color of them. It's just like, they don't have Scentlock, at least don't have a like, I guess normal colored pant.
Yeah,
Everything's camo.
camo.
So
Yeah,
with this being like the first, I love it.
yeah.
And
I need to try the Blocker versions out. They got a
yeah,
couple pants. They were like they had it first, right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I wear a similar pant like that. Well, like when I'm at work, but I'm sure
Right, yeah.
the Blocker one probably holds up better than my Dickies brand.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, that's
But
cool, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. It was cool to see your name pop up, and it was cool to see everybody kind of
yeah,
support me in that fact and say, hey, if you need somebody, I'll hop on. Even though you've never done anything like this before, I
right.
appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's been a blast for real.
Yeah. A lot of people, they dip their toes in it, and you get to come on. You're like, man, I probably could have talked for like another hour on this.
Right, yeah. Like, what is it? Yeah, 48 minutes. It don't feel like 48 minutes.
No, no, it goes pretty quick, and it's super fun to do these every week, man. But
Yeah.
when you get everything going, and we'll have to get you back on and really go in depth on turkey hunting, and you talk some calls
Oh,
and how you
oh,
approach some of these birds, especially Kentucky birds. Them birds can be stubborn sometimes.
them birds are a pain. Which so are Indiana. Man, I struggled bad last year in Indiana. I mean, the birds in Indiana and Kentucky are hard to hunt.
I haven't killed an Indiana bird in a hot minute. I tell everybody I'm cursed to Indiana turkey hunting. I think that's why I like traveling to these other states, because
Yeah,
it can be a lot more easier. I wouldn't say easier, but like I hate timber birds. I said it. I don't care who hears it. I hate timber birds. Get out of the
yeah,
timber and come play with me in the fields.
yeah.
In
Oh, I
Indiana
feel that.
birds, it seems like they're all timber birds.
They definitely, a majority of them are. And man, there's a lot of people that I know who they only turkey hunt, especially like right around here. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of guys that don't do anything but turkey hunt. So they definitely get plenty of attention when season rolls around.
Oh, I guarantee it. I want to kill. I like to kill an Indiana bird this year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. I think the reserved hunt thing's coming up within the next couple weeks. I'm gonna put in for some public land, south eastern, western. I can't remember exactly where it's at, but Hill and Brand. I don't know if you know or familiar with that area, but
that sounds very familiar, actually.
It's kind of close to like Sullivan Green and Duggar and all that kind of stuff, but it's down there. Some pretty good property down there that I happened to stumble into last year a little bit. So I'm going to try to get down there on a reserved hunt. It's probably only going to be a couple days at it, really, for Indiana season with me traveling all these other places. The only thing that really stands out for Indiana turkeys is getting to do the youth hunt, which, oh man, that's so much fun, man, taking these kids turkey hunting.
See, that's something that I really want to do, but I don't really. I'm kind of at a weird age where I don't have kids and none of my buddies have kids, so it's kind of
right.
Like,
hey, can I borrow your kid this weekend?
Just go knock on the door. Hey, can I borrow your kid?
I get lucky because my neighbors' boys are all that age. They're all youth hunting. My boy's not quite there yet. He's getting there. I think he's still got a little bit before he wants to get out there. But it's fun to see that look on their face. I know I can imagine what my face looks like when there's a turkey gobbling in front of my face at 30 yards, let alone this little kid. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know. I know. I'm pumped. So,
oh, for sure.
Yeah. And
but I appreciate you. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to cut you off. There's a little bit of delay in my ear.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're fine. It's not you. It's probably just the delay from me talking or whatever. But I appreciate you coming on, man. We'll get you back on, talk some turkeys here in a few weeks when I get all that going. Spring Thunder Series coming up. But for somebody that wants to follow you on social media, where can they find you at?
So my Instagram is at Warren Bailey with 2 dashes at the end. And then Facebook, just my name.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate you. If you are in the podcast land, listen to us. Give us a like and review. If you're in YouTube land, hit that like and subscribe button for us. Help us out a little bit, but we'll see you guys again next week for episode 74.